I don't think men realize how much women are approached and why we get so annoyed, because it happens nonstop. I've been outside and it'll happen twice on like a 20-minute walk.
I traveled from Wyoming to fucking California for your ass? At the end of the day, just take the L, bro. Just take the L and move on. What is going on, everybody? It is I, Delacroix, and I'm here with my lovely, hot co-host, because she said she's not a hot girl. She's a hot girl now.
Oh my
She's a
god.
hot girl. Mad curious.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Doing good. Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm miserable because I got these online classes I have to take. I did not think the class was going to be from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. It's literally 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
No, that's a nightmare.
Yeah, but we get like a 20-minute break every hour. So it's kind of good, but thanks to me being a streamer, I don't really have to sit there because all I do is record myself for like 40 minutes looking like I'm enthralled, I'm paying attention to stuff, and I'm watching, and just put that in a loop so I can go do other things.
What if it paused or like closed out?
That doesn't. I got in the loop. I make sure I'm like watching. I pop in every periodic. Like I take like a 45-minute nap and come back.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because every 45 minutes we go on break.
Then.
I took this class like 5 times already. I know the stuff. I know the material. I have the answers because I could teach this class.
Okay.
I can teach it. I have the answers. I have the answer sheet. Okay. And thanks to technology today, I could just Google all the answers when I take the exam. The exam is 100% pass rate.
Like
no one ever fails
the
it.
Information if you have to Google it though.
Yeah, because sometimes no wait, hold on. Sometimes they give you weird questions in the codes, and if you pick the right answer, it's something like, oh no, actually it's supposed to be this. Like they ask you the same question twice, and you could put it's never the same answer. It's like this is stupid. It's just how the system is. So, and then so it's. I'm fine. I got the answer sheet, so I could always. I'm a cheater. Leave me alone.
I see that. As the straight A student I am.
I was actually like a C- student, but hey, I graduated high school.
That honestly tracks. You seem like a C student to me, and I don't mean that in like a bad way.
What's that supposed to mean?
I mean like you just have such a type B personality. Like you're just like, yeah, it's cool.
No, I was the type of kid that I didn't actually try until the last semester because that's when your grades count the most, the last semester. So first, second, third semester I was like, whatever. Then third, get everything else. I was really good at history. I was a real big history buff and science and biology. Like that was my calling. But
my calling was just figuring
English
out how to do well at school.
You went to college though, right?
Oh yeah, I have a grad degree.
Oh, look at you. What was your major?
I did just business, and then I got my MBA.
All right.
I had like a bunch of different majors though my first year, and then I made myself decide.
So you have a degree in business?
But yeah, I just went for business. Yeah, but I started out in like broadcast journalism with pre-med, and then was thinking about
pre-med. Wait, you went for pre-med?
Well, my whole family's like medical. That's like everybody's like.
So wait, everybody's a doctor and nurse, so you're just
I'm just a crazy person on the internet.
You're a streamer. You're a streamer.
They thought I was crazy enough in business. Now they're like, what is she doing?
wait. Don't wait. You said some of your family has Asian. You're Asian a little bit, right? You have some Asian in you.
Yeah.
So you're the
Yes. So straight A student, Asian, medical. Correct. You're seeing.
Wait.
You're seeing the whole thing now.
So for some reason, every Asian family is that one child that they're like, oh fuck, what's wrong with you? And you're that child. You're the dishonor to the family.
I was a really good student though. Like if I apply, like if I'm doing anything, I mean even this, like if I do anything, I'm doing it like, fully.
Yeah, but you're not a doctor or freaking nurse.
No, still the black sheep. But
yeah. Mm-hmm. They still love you though, right?
Yeah.
You guess, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of love for things, freaking Twitch says that they're putting out a new vertical streaming. So now when you watch Twitch on your phone, I'm guessing you you could watch it vertically, and I mean, phone screens only got bigger so you could do that,
Yeah, I don't
watch things,
really
but now you can watch it
understand.
this
Yeah.
way.
Like, why
So
is everybody so addicted to the vertical content? And like Twitch, yes, just chatting has been like the category that's been growing more than gaming, but gaming's still a big base of viewership on Twitch. You don't want to watch a game vertically. Like, that's nobody wants to, like, if you're seeing like the middle of the screen and then like the camera on top, like you're not even seeing the whole game.
I do not know what they're thinking of doing that, but it's like, as we spoke offline, saying that, Twitch is one of those companies where it's, I'm not going to say it's dying, but people are kind of just like, what are you doing, Twitch?
To be
What are
fair,
you
the
doing?
whole industry,
Like,
we're kind of like rolling our eyes at this point, like between gaming and creator. It's like nobody can get it together to manage these things properly. I don't understand what's going on.
I've always said Twitch is that abusive relationship you stay in because you're afraid to travel other places. Because you gotta remember, when Twitch was there, Twitch was dominating everything. Twitch sucked. There was a whole bunch of problems with it, and constantly, still to this day, there's a lot of problems with favoritism with their streamers and stuff. Then what was it? Beam, that turned into Mixer. Mixer came along. Mixer was like the golden child of things. But then Mixer went away, the dinosaurs, and everybody went back to Twitch. Kick came around, and Kick was like that cool new boyfriend girlfriend, but they're kind of toxic. But you know what? Their toxic traits, they have like a lot of good features. Like they have a lot of good stuff going for them. Like they're a little toxic, but you know what?
And I said it was
They're a
going to have
good guy.
staying power, and everybody's like, it's only going to last a year or two. I mean, it's like died out a little bit in terms of like hype, but people are still on Kick. Like there's still people doing really well on Kick, which is what I said would happen, and people didn't believe me. And so when I say vertical streaming on Twitch is stupid, you should believe me. I've been right more times than I've been wrong. So, and I don't just call out every sort of type of prediction possible and then claim the prediction that's right, like a lot of gurus on the internet. Like I actually put thought into the things that I say. So mark my words, vertical streaming on Twitch is stupid and it won't do much.
Don't get me wrong. Kick has the feature where you get paid to stream.
Yeah.
Like 8 hours. You get paid to stream and you keep tips.
Yeah.
Twitch is just ad revenue, and they don't even have a lot of ad revenue because of the stuff with Hassan Piker and everything. So I don't know why Twitch thinks this is a good move. And you have the people who are so like brainwashed by the platform and think everything they do is good, and you have massive streamers saying it's not.
Is doing so well. Like the politics content on Twitch and YouTube does so well and brings so many eyes in for whatever reason. I don't really is it, like, do people really care that much about like things that are outside of their control?
So I think
you know what I mean. Like a lot of people go to the platform for escapism or like relatability, to have someone to talk to. But then these people are going on for politics to feel like, I guess, a part of something. Politics is a weird one for me.
I think that's right. What you said is right, that to feel a part of something, because especially when you have like somebody like Hassan Piker, who's like the biggest left like ideology person, and he's one of those people I said I want to punch in the face because of his he said America deserved 9/11, and he's been very like toxic and stuff on Twitch, and he kind of just gets away with it. I mean, most recently he called for like killing a senator, and he got a 1-day suspension.
Like he actually, so it wasn't like a joke. Like he like meant it.
No, he meant he meant it and tried to walk it back as a joke. That was a joke, and like, no, dude, you literally meant it, because half the shit you say, like, you don't walk back. And then he was suspended for 24 hours, and he went on YouTube and made a video saying, I was canceled. You weren't canceled. You got a slap in the hand. And Dan Clancy of Twitch said, don't do that again.
Huh. Yeah, I have a lot of feelings about that kind of stuff, because like we should have freedom of expression, but there's a line when you start threatening people and you have that much influence and somebody might actually act on it. That's when it starts to get kind of dangerous. So so it's too much favoritism on the platform. I mean, me and you, we still use the platform. We're kind of like just nobody, so we could get away with some nonsense if we do nonsense. But at the same time, it's like, if we were to say that,
it's like a 5-day, 10-day ban.
I mean, if anybody even like knew, because like you said, we're so small, we'll fly under the radar with most things. You kind of have to be like that medium where enough people will see it to like try to cancel you, but like you're not powerful enough to get out of it.
Exactly.
We're like on the small safe side. When you're that big, you're on the safe side for the most part. Yeah. But it would suck if you were like a few hundred viewer streamer, couple thousand, and then said that you'd
they'd be like, hey, we got you, but you're done. Fuck off.
A couple thousand, if you're bringing in enough money, they might protect you. To be honest, it's like it's truly that like enough where you can get like virality. So like a couple hundred, I think, is where you'd be in the most water.
It was that. Yeah, he's a cash cow for Twitch. Twitch does not mess with their cash cows. Any platform that they have a cash cow that's bringing in all these viewers and all these like subs and bits and all that stuff, and people are spending money on the platform, they don't want to hurt them, because it's like, if we lose them and they go to another platform, we lose a lot of people. Can Twitch make another superstar? Yes, they can make another. They can make another Kai. They can make another Hassan. It's not hard.
I mean, it's not like they can't replace them every single time without fail. I mean, like Dr. Disrespect. I mean, he's gone, and they have new cream of the crop at the top. I mean, it's just how it goes.
They have Kai. They have Kai now. Kai is like the hottest streamer right now.
Yep. And when he moves on from it, somebody else will fill that spot. It's not like somebody's not going to be at the top every time.
So I do want to talk about the whole Kai thing, because everybody's like, he's like riding his high. Like, I'm gonna give the man his flowers. I'm not gonna type and sit there like, oh fuck Kai, whatever.
Yeah,
but no,
he's an inspiration for the type of stuff that I relate to, like the marathon gaming streams.
Yes.
Like, I put, I have my Mad Assassin's Creed flag. I've got like my tree. Like, I've got as much as I can. I've got like my merch that's like Last of It, right? Like, I've got like all sorts of stuff where I try to create that atmosphere, but like with a budget of $100. You know what I mean? He's got like $100,000, like to throw at a project. So it's like, yeah, I mean, the guy's doing cool stuff, and so it's cool. It's like, inspirational in that regard. So he does really cool stuff like that. Like, I watched his I think Elden Ring and Bloodborne marathons a little bit. So
yeah, his I think his Elden Ring marathon was what like really boosted his like whole I'm gonna do the 24-hour thing stuff constantly and keep going and going. Because the Elden Ring one, because that was a challenge for him. That was a real challenge for him, because like, he never played a Souls game, and he went into Elden Ring and he was getting his ass whipped. And like,
I think that's what part of what made it good, right? Because people were like, "Oh, look at this noob! Like, joining the cult of Souls games." And
and he loved it, and he got addicted, and he went on to play Bloodborne. You get addicted. Like, I think right now when it comes to those type of games, everybody's stepping stone is Elden Ring. And then you get addicted, because even Huggable Hipster, who we had on the podcast, Ariel, she stood away from Souls games, because what was the thing everybody knows? Souls games are fucking hard as shit. And she dipped her toe into Elden Ring, and she became addicted, and she played every Souls game. She played all of them. But the reason we talk about Kai, because he was just recently on Jimmy Fallon Live, and Speed was on CBS Sports. So these two are like the top streamers right now, top male and black streamers right now. They're like on talk shows and stuff. And somebody said like no other streamers doing it like they are now. And I'm saying, I mean, like, if it wasn't for Ninja, streaming wouldn't be spoken about how it is now. Because the whole Ninja and Drake stream that happened is the reason why Twitch is the way it is now.
I mean, somebody else probably would have stepped up eventually, to be fair, but it doesn't mean that he didn't help pave the way.
I think like a lot of people forget Ninja paved the way. Like you said, they forget that it was him who started it. Because
it's like how Kai like kind of not stepped on, but like was kind of off-putting about PewDiePie. I think in the last couple weeks he said something.
Has he?
Yeah.
What did he say about him?
That he doesn't like his content. He's like, I don't know how people watched him.
Everybody's got a cup of tea, bro. I see people that watch
Which
people
is like
sleep.
fair, but he probably shouldn't say that the way he said it in front of that many people. Like, I feel like that's not, everybody has opinions. Like, there's a lot of people you're not gonna like their content and not have beef with, but like, that could start some stuff. I don't know. It was unnecessary to say, I feel like.
Yeah. Also talk about streamers. We had this situation with well, we didn't have the situation, but I know this is something that you could speak on. and I can speak on too. We both can speak on it. But like, as you being a female, you know, it's not safe out there for females.
Oh, yeah.
Because for some reason, all the men in the world simultaneously went crazy in the last couple of years.
It's crazy that people thought that was fake. I'm like, I've had that circumstance and I'm not even famous and I wasn't live streaming. Like, men do that all the time. I don't think men realize how much women are approached and why we get so annoyed, because it happens nonstop. I've been outside and it'll happen twice on like a 20-minute walk. It's absurd how much we get. And that's like when I'm like, you know, hoodied up, like I'm like trying to hide and they still come at you. It's like, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop as a woman. Like, I have to make that clear.
So the situation we're talking about involved 3 female streamers. It involved it was China, Valkyrie, and I think Imaru was there. There are 3 female streamers, and they were out, and you know they were doing an IRL stream like you know everybody does nowadays. And they bumped into a guy earlier, and he was like, "Hey, I'm a fan. Can I get a picture?" They're like, "Oh, no problem. Cool." Took the picture with him. They ran into the guy again, right? And he asked one of them for their numbers. And you know, they were just being joking and were kind of like, you know, it was an awkward situation. So one of them was like, "Oh, you know, no, I don't have a phone. I don't know how to use a phone." You know, obviously, it's 2025. If you don't know how to use a phone in 2025, you know, it's just kind of this. It's kind of know, some people have that defense mechanism to make a stupid joke when they don't know what else to say.
Well,
and the
for
guy
that
just kept.
situation, well, it wasn't just that. So, like, the thing you'll learn, like, if you study how women deal with these things, we do often fawn or we try to joke it off so that they won't be laughed at, so that you're all laughing together. And so it's a way to make it so we're not saying like no, and then it's kind of like this awkward, oh shit.
It's a defense mechanism.
It absolutely is. It's like one of those. And so instead of like a full fawn, it's kind of like a half fawn where you're like making sure that they're comfortable and you're letting them down in a way that isn't even letting them down. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, I can kind of get out of here now. And that's when you're like, okay, maybe I'm safe and I can kind of get out. The fact that he came back, I know that girl's stomach dropped so hard, because it's like when you think you're out and then they're like, "But you can put it in mine," and you're like, "Oh god, like I gave you the out, bro. I gave all of us the out of this situation." It's so awkward. Like, if a girl does that to you, leave her alone. That was her saying no without saying no, so that nobody's feelings have to be hurt and everybody can go about their business. I know people don't like hints, or like a lot of men will say, "Oh, I don't want hints. I want you to tell me straight up." We tell you straight up and then you get violent. And that's what happened later in this circumstance, because then a girl like said no to him, and that's when he started like acting out and getting
he started following them. So so when the video first dropped, we saw the girls were like, the guy was following them. He was like, "I'm just gonna follow you." And they're like, "What the fuck?" So they started following them around and stuff. And then they were kind of saying like, again, this is the first video that we saw, everybody saw, and they were saying like, you know, go away, you know. And the guy started getting aggressive. He started getting aggressive and nasty. He was like, I'll kill you. And that's when it was like, you know, it got crazy. Like from that point, it got crazy. Like, you know, you followed them. You were already following them from the beginning, because there's no reason they wanted to.
Stuff.
Yeah. So then there was another video they showed, which was a whole clip where I guess one of their friends, because they saw the guy was there. The guy was still following them.
Yeah.
And one of their friends was like, "Can I be mean to him?" And they're like, "Yes." And then China is whispering like, "I'll beat him up." I was like, okay, here's the devil's advocate of stuff. What the guy did follow them, 100% wrong. But please, this goes for men and women. If there's somebody who is following you guys and they can't take no for an answer, antagonizing them is the last thing you want to do. Saying, "Can I be mean to him?" and I could beat him up, and then her friend going to walk over to that guy. Do not antagonize somebody
it's so hard. Sometimes you just fucking lose it. You can't take it anymore. It is so hard, because it's like people don't picture women having rage. We have full fucking rage about that shit.
I 100% can understand that.
Break, dude. You just break, and you're like, "Leave me the fuck alone." Like, you can see it. I have dealt with this so many times. I feel for these women, because I know exactly that feeling where you're just like, "Can I fucking be mean? Can I like leave me the fuck alone?"
In that situation, especially if it's a dude just follow you girls around, it's like, because even when there's dudes that like, I've been around a group of guys and like there's dudes following us. I'm like, "Yo, are you good?" Like, I've asked him, "Are you good? Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "I want to hang out with you guys." It's like, ask us, just don't follow. Like, it seems weird.
Yeah.
Dude, it happens at TwitchCon a lot.
Yeah,
It
well,
happens at
because people
TwitchCon.
don't have, a friend group, and that's a circumstance where it makes a little bit more sense. Like at a con where people are like, "Oh, oh, they talked to
No,
me." It makes a little more sense than like in this situation where there's a guy following women who are doing their own thing. At a
but here's the
convention,
thing.
there's a little bit more of like a social weirdness where I could see that happening. But
But
yeah,
the thing is, we're outside of it, and you're still, and like you bump into us, we say hello, what's up, and you just include yourself. This is a Final Fantasy. We didn't ask you to join our party.
yeah.
And you didn't
Well,
ask to
people are
join our
trying to make
party.
friends. I mean, TwitchCon's a little bit different. You know what I mean?
I get it. I
Yeah.
understand, Matt.
Yeah.
But how would you feel if, when we first met, what was our interaction? I was like, hey, what's up? Blah,
Yeah, it
blah,
was
blah.
a hey, what's up thing, and then we went back to our groups
What,
and
what are you doing?
yeah.
And you were like, I'm going to do this. How would your fellows go, okay, and I just started following you?
That would be weird. Yeah, that'd be weird. Thing.
Exactly. But
it
you
would
just said
also
it's a
be, like,
con, it's a
lightly
different circumstances.
understandable, it would be lightly understandable trying to make friends. And there's some people who are just socially awkward, especially coming from the internet.
Yes,
So like,
yes,
I keep
yes.
that in mind at those kind of things because people just might not know. Like, and it's awkward when you're on your own and you're at those places, which is why like I've not been crazy about going to them even when I was kind of going to more of that kind of stuff. Because it's hard. Like if you're just going by yourself, you have to have a buddy. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
So with that situation, it was a scary situation for those girls. That guy was 100% in the wrong. Yes. I'm not gonna say the girls were wrong going over and like oh, I'm gonna be mean to him. Yes, like you said, women do have rage. I don't expect women not to have rage.
Yeah.
But don't antagonize people you don't know.
I know, but I think they hit their breaking point long before that. You heard them when they said when he like said, "Oh, I'm gonna follow you," and they're like, "Not another one." Like they probably were dealing with that so many times. And then they had this guy specifically who'd like followed, changed clothes, like asked for the number, then asked again. It's like you get to a point where you can't take it anymore, and men need to understand how much they are pushing women. Like
exactly.
it is not like. We are getting to a boiling point in society where we are just so fucking tired of being approached. And part of it is because there are a lot of men with heavy desperation at this point because everybody's so separated. But that doesn't mean you can just pursue until we are so tired that we fucking break, because that's not good for anybody. Like you are breaking women if you are out there incessantly bothering us. That is not how you make friends, how you get a relationship. It's not going to work. You have to like nuance your way through life and like just experience more organic things. You can't just force your way into other people's lives.
At the end of the day, guys, I'm speaking to the men. Just take the L, bro. Just take the L and move on. Just take the L. Bro, life is full with losses, bro. You just take it and go on. If you feel embarrassed at the end of the day, just, you know what? Suck it up. Say, you know what? Okay, I apologize and move on. There's some people there are guys that get their egos hurt. And it's like, how are you saying this to me? You gonna fucking play me and blah, blah. And I see it. I grew up in the hood. And I've seen guys try to talk to girls. And they're like, no, they just ignore them. And then they get called a bitch, or this or that. Like, her attractiveness level went away the minute she said no to you, which is ridiculous.
Yep.
It doesn't... Take a hint. No is no. She don't want to give you a number? All right. You ladies have a beautiful day. I apologize for I apologize for bothering you. Hope you learn how to use a phone one day.
I even had a fake wedding ring at one point just to make it stop.
What?
Yeah, just to make it stop. Be like, oh, I got it one off Amazon, and I would wear it just to make people stop. It's like fuck. It's
doesn't stop people either.
When I tell you it's not, it didn't work. So I mean, it. But,
yeah,
like it's like it's nonstop. It just doesn't stop for women. Like imagine being a woman, even if you get married, even if you are paired up and you are in something like it doesn't stop for us. That's the difference. It's like men, it's like you only have to work for that until you get your person. And then you no longer have to work and no one's going to come up to you and no one's going to do that to you. But as a woman, it does not stop ever. We are tired. We are tired of being like an object all the time,
Yeah. And then then it becomes this whole thing. Then like, people are like saying like, oh, they're big streamers. Why don't they have security? Oh, they can't afford security. It was like, well, why didn't her cameraman do something?
About because like I agree that like women shouldn't necessarily have to have like it sucks, like
but the
idealistically
guys have security.
That they don't have it. But these girls are rich. Like these are the biggest female streamers on the platform. they have enough money for security. I'm sorry if they don't. They've been mismanaging their money, but they've made enough money for security.
So if you look at like Kai, Speed, even Aiden Ross, even Sneeko, all those guys, even freaking, I think even what's his name? Floozy might have security at times. Those guys have security.
Oh, he definitely does.
Because
I've seen some of those crazy clips where there's like, yeah, he definitely does.
Because like because as a guy, people want to challenge us.
Mm-hmm.
They always want to challenge us and get close to us. And I forgot what streamer said, like, you know, he doesn't try to make new friends and outside like within the community. Like, yes, we know each other from the community. You may talk to me for like 4 years streaming, right? Outside of streaming, if I see you, I could say what's up to you, how you doing, blah blah. We'll have a drink, but that does not mean we're friends.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes that parasocial relationship, and a lot of people feel they have, you know, and it can get very weird because the thing is like people connect and we're like, oh, we're best friends.
Well, and there's an imbalance too. If you've watched somebody and they have, like, sometimes streamers, if they've watched each other and then they've talked offline, they're going to have like a real friendship because, you know, they've seen both parties and then they've talked offline. They might have a real friendship. But like if you've just seen somebody in chat and you've never seen them and you don't talk offline and you're only like talking as in public, they're not going to feel the same way that you probably feel watching them.
Exactly.
You know, and that's where the parasocial comes in. It doesn't mean that they don't care, because I care about my chat, right? Like I've known some of these people for years. So we've spent holidays together, right? But they're still in the chat, and some of them might also stream, and so I've seen them a little bit. But also, it's a different type of friendship too. Like, yes, would I want to grab a drink with a lot of these people? Sure. But it's not like, and it doesn't mean that we can't be some sort of friends, but there is a difference between like that and talking offline too. You know what I mean? Like and I've met a lot of people, like, and cons really bring that out a lot, right? Like you'll meet people who you've seen online a little bit and you might have like different types of feelings than they do about you. It's a weird thing to navigate, right? And there's no right or wrong.
Yeah, and even with streamers, just because you're cordial with each other, like streaming, doesn't mean you're like cordial with each other in real life. Because you start finding out, like in the streaming world, there's a lot of people who are just out to use you or just want to like bring you down in some type of way. Like I met Mad at, what was it, 2019?
No, I didn't start streaming until 2020. 21 or 22? I think it was 20.
No, we didn't have a 22. No, we didn't have a 22. I think because COVID. Maybe it was 21. It might have been 21. Maybe not. I don't know.
I think it was 22. I think it was 22 because I think that's
no, we
the
didn't
only
have
one
a
I've gone
we
to.
didn't have one.
I'm pretty sure it was that one because I
was at
started
CoinUp.
streaming in 2020.
We were in CoinUp. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
When I met Matt, it was a very quick conversation. I looked down and I was like, "Wow, Matt, curious. It's so good to see you in person because she's shorter than she is in person." But I said, "What's up?"
Yeah.
I gave her a firm handshake.
Yeah, we just happened to run into each other at a bar.
Yeah, and I was like, "What are you doing? Let's have a drink." And she's like, "No, I can't. I gotta go." I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll catch you later."
Yeah.
That was it. I didn't say, "Do you want to hang out?" Blah blah. Because I was with people too.
Yeah.
But it was a very quick interaction, and I think she was going with her friends, and that's when you had that unfortunate event.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, again, we know each other from streaming. It was very quick. I didn't think I'd see you the rest of the con. I didn't see it at all ever again. Mm-hmm. And still, like, even though we had that face to face, it was still like we barely knew each other.
Right. And I barely knew a lot of the people I was hanging out with, to be honest.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, it was just, we're making friends. You know what I mean? Like, even the person I was traveling with, like, I didn't know that well, but we both kind of knew of each other, and we got to talking because we both, like, wanted to travel with someone, you know, and make it safer. And so it just worked out. And then we kind of buddied up for the trip. So. Yeah.
And the things with cons, you really start to know people. You start to see how people really are at cons.
You do in traveling too, like just in general. You know, travel is one of the ways you can get to know people the best, to be honest.
Yeah.
You see how they operate.
Like any con I go to is you'll see me and Duty Beard and stuff because, like, you know, we constantly work together on side projects and stuff. We work as a team together on stuff at the Duty Bit of Pal show.
Yeah.
So when we go, we're the team. This is the team and stuff. I'm manager. He's this. He's the creator. He's this. This is the camera guy. This is all stuff. We all have our roles and stuff, and we go. We're always together. We're having a good time. Do we break off and go do our own thing? Yes, but we all have meeting points and stuff, and hang out.
That's awesome.
You know, because
to have that core
we
group.
built
Yeah.
that.
I feel like that's hard for people when they don't have that. Like, I've definitely struggled where I'm like, I don't know if I would have a lot of people that I would know of, but it's not like I would have that core group, because that's always kind of been how I am. I just kind of like stay on the outskirts of everything. So
yes,
I don't have like that
but
group.
As a streamer and as a content creator, people create these parasocial relationships with you, and they follow you, and it's very weird at times. It's very, very weird. I can tell you for like, you know, perfect example. I don't know if you ever heard of American Dad. He's a streamer.
Yeah.
He plays a lot of Call of Duty on Fortnite. He has like really crazy
I've
hair.
seen
He
him
makes
before.
a lot of funny.
Yeah.
So I bumped into him and his people, right? And American Dad, ex-military Army. I'm ex-Army too.
Mm-hmm.
Chatted it up. I said what's up to one of his boys, and like we talked it out. He was Air Force and blah blah. We talked it out, and I was like, "Yo, you mind if I tag along with y'all?" And his friend, who was like the gatekeeper, this guy is like 6 something, stocky dude. He's a gatekeeper. He was like, "Yeah, you could tag with us, because you're not here trying to fucking like suck them off, and you just like a lot of these dudes coming off, they're just being weird and shit. Like, you seem cool and legit." Like, I chill with American Dad, and I was hanging out with him. I was like, hey, I bumped into like a whole bunch of big ass streamers. I was like, what the fuck is happening? And every time I said, what's up? I said, how you doing? Yo, I like your stuff. It was very quick and easy. I was like, oh my God, this, you know.
Yeah. Well,
but some people could get a read on that.
Treating them like a person, you know. People,
exactly.
You're not like a leech. Like if you come off as a leech, it's gonna be weird.
Yeah, and like you see that a lot, especially at cons, especially like something like TwitchCon, because I remember hearing some of these people who are affiliates like only want to talk to partners to get into that inner circle, bro.
I've seen that so much just on Twitter. It's like this weird obsession with like the status. And like they freaked out about the affiliate thing too. And so I was like, I mean, I get it, but it like, that's kind of what we were talking about, I think, before we started recording. Like, it's just, there's like this disconnect when you've been in it long enough. It's like literally none of that matters, dude. It's just people.
Yes. Yeah. So it's going to change with content creation, but circling back to what we were talking about with this situation with like streamers and content creators, what happened to those girls is fucked up. That dude is fucked up, you know.
It's
you
just
should
such weird behavior. Like, I just don't know how you like flip that switch. Like, I can't even picture how a person gets to that point.
It's being
crazy.
Embarrassed. It's called being like embarrassed on camera.
Yeah.
Because it can happen to guys and women.
Right,
like if I've seen videos of women being embarrassed on camera, and it goes from normalcy to like, I'm gonna fucking rip your head off, and you're a piece of shit, and you're the best. Like, it happens. Go down. Sorry, cat in the way.
I guess,
but
I think for women though, most of the time, right? It's like after we've been like affronted of some sort, you know, like.
Yes. Especially those
like
girls, because
like
everybody
into a corner, and you're like, okay, well, I am gonna lash out, and I'm gonna take really big swings so that I can get the fuck out of here. Versus like, you know, where he could have just left and then just like, you know, licked his wounds off camera. This was just like,
you could
such a weird, like, how do you get to a point where you're legitimately threatening people and coming at them and like being like that? Like, how does somebody get there? It's so sad, dude. Like, just go home and like go to the gym, dude. Like, I know I see that all over the internet where they're like, dude, just go to the gym. Like, truly, like, just work on yourself. Whatever you like, whatever you enjoy, work on yourself, be passionate about that, and that will attract the right people to you, period. Every time, without fail.
Yeah, I mean, go home, like you said, go home, go to the gym, touch yourself. It doesn't matter, get it out. I'm serious, get it out. Just sometimes you just gotta rub one out and you feel better. Take it from me, I know what I'm talking about.
As he stares at the camera.
But ladies, gentlemen, buy pepper spray.
Yep.
Protect yourself out there. People are fucking, it's just, everybody's losing their mind now. And everybody's looking for somebody to blame.
Yeah, if I were doing like IRL streams though, I would definitely have people, you know. I would at least have like dudes with me. Like, I've talked about doing some travel content in the future, and I would have at least one dude traveling with me, you know. It would have to, that would
Yeah.
be a must. Even though I've traveled like by myself before and done a lot, like it's just when it comes to that kind of stuff and you're being distracted trying to create content too, you want, you know, somebody being aware, and you want like it's just part of like I don't think I've ever told this story on here, but I was supposed to go to Mexico for a grad school trip, and it was all lined up and we had to do it, and it was like a course. And the guy had to drop out because Zika started. Like there was one guy in the group, and like me, two other women, and then the leader who was a woman. And when the guy dropped out, I dropped out. And they're like, "You're just dropping out because it's your friend." And I'm like, "I've traveled the world by myself. I've traveled across the world all by myself, actually. But I'm not stupid, and I'm not going to this random part of Mexico with only 3 other women, and I don't personally speak the language. So I, you know, like I
Yeah.
have to trust you." And I don't know you that well. Like, I'm not doing that. That's unsafe to me. Like, I know my boundaries.
Exactly.
I know how to travel. I know what I'm doing. And that means, and she was like, "I have all these certifications." Like, I had to sit in front of like the board of like the school and like defend myself. And she was like, "You're just, you know, blah, 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 unfeminist, like all this stuff." And I was like, "Listen, I've traveled the world as a woman at like 22 years old." It was like my age at the time, or yeah, something like that. And I was like, "Listen, it's not that. It has nothing to do with your qualifications. It has nothing to do with how many languages you speak. We are a target. It doesn't matter if you are like a CrossFitter. We are a target because we are women. That is the reality of the situation. We do not live in the idealistic world. We live in the real world. And the real world says women are a target. So you
Yes.
should, it's not that a man needs to protect you because he's necessarily stronger, though most of the time that's true. It's because he's a man, and the other people target him differently than they target you, period. End of story.
And even if having a man with you, you could still get beat up and killed, because there was just a story about in India, this group, it was like a tour group, they went stargate, and the men were attacked and the women were assaulted. So
That's terrifying. I'm
doesn't
going to
matter,
India next
like-
month, actually.
no, you're not.
Yeah,
You're joking.
I am. I really am.
No, you're not.
I am.
With who?
So my friend from grad school.
We'll talk about this. We'll talk about this
Kidding.
offline. We'll talk about this offline.
Okay.
We'll move on, okay? Because this is gonna get into a whole thing, and
All
I'm
right,
like,
all right.
yeah, okay. Be safe, please. Okay. Everybody be safe. Don't do that. It's a crazy world. No, and even me. Some people think when I walk with certain groups, it's like they think I'm security because of my build and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "You're very intense. You have an intense look." And it's just like, I just look like I don't.
Well, in the military,
I've been told
too,
I
I'm
have-
sure you have like a presence, you know, like from that.
People say I have a very look, like the way I look at people is very like I look down on them. It's like I don't look down on people. I just look at people. Like I'm just aware of my surroundings. You know,
Yeah.
I just, you know, you stay at arm's distance. Don't hug me. Like that's it. But anyway, speaking of losing things, Sony just laid a whole bunch of people off again because of they laid off their visual effects team too. They let them go. They're gone.
I've never
All
seen
gone.
so
It's
much
like-
mismanagement as I've seen with Sony. Like, we could have had Last of Us multiplayer, and I would have mained that for like my entire life. I will forever be upset. I don't understand what they're doing ever. Sony is just like mucking everything up all day, every day.
Well, they lost all that money from fucking Concord, and they got rid of that whole. They get rid of people. They cutting the fat. That team was even working on like a God of War spin-off game, and they completely cut. They were like, "That's done. That is fucking done. We're not doing that."
Well,
Fuck outta
they're
here.
not doing anything that anyone's actually asking for, like the Bloodborne remake. Like, there's so many things that
I don't know.
Like, give us nonstop Last
Stop.
of Us, or make
Stop.
different types of like Last of Us type games. Like, let's be honest, Last of Us. I'll say this like with my full chest: Last of Us is my favorite game in the world, and it's not even that good of a game. Like, we could take Last of Us and it be the baseline for like an entire genre, and nobody's doing it. It doesn't make any sense. And Sony could have leaned fully into that because they saw that Last of Us has worked so well. Last of Us 2 worked so well. They're not leaning into it. They're like live service, greed, money.
Yeah.
But they can get money
trying
from
to-
the other stuff that people actually want. They're just they're blinded by
They could have got money from The Last of Us online multiplayer and have live service in that with daily and weekly and monthly.
Would have taken over my whole life. I would have spent so much money on that. It would have been it.
Yeah, but they're dumb. I mean, look what they're doing with the show.
It's
Stupid.
I'm so mad, dude.
Dummies.
Every time I see
Dummies.
something new, I'm like, what are they doing? What are they doing? I like. It's like Druckmann hates his own art, and he's just setting it on fire. He's like, here's a new
Remember,
version.
it wasn't even him that really wrote the first game. It was a woman. It was this woman that wrote the story of the first game. She was like, if it wasn't for her, The Last of Us would not have been that good. I'm telling you right now, if that lady was not part of it, I'm sorry I don't remember her name. Screw me, editors. Please put her name in it. Put it right over my fucking face and put her face over mine. Whatever you want to do, editor. Please. But if it wasn't for her and how she wrote it, and Neil going, okay, this seems good, we wouldn't have the Last of Us we have now.
It's very believable seeing what Druckmann's doing to,
you see, two was a good game, but they had its weak points. It had a lot of weak points.
It was one of the most creatively built games that I've seen in a really long time. Like, one, as special as it is to me, like, is it's a repeatable process that nobody's doing. Two, is a very interesting concept in a lot of ways. That they kind of took it up a notch, and they could continue to do that. And it's just like, but yes, there were some writing flaws. Yeah, there were a couple in there for sure.
Yeah. And then, I mean, the ending, don't get me started on the ending because I fucking absolutely hated it.
Oh, I loved it.
It is whatever. Yeah, of course you would.
Yeah, I mean, there's like
You're
the
soft.
flaws I can pretty much overlook. No, not soft. I like it.
You
I think
soft.
it was decisive versus people like,
No.
people actually want to like make a choice at the end. I'm like, it's not that kind of game. What's wrong with you? You haven't made a choice the entire game. Why would you make a choice now? It's not that kind of game. It's not an RPG.
No. Hold on. I fucking lost a finger. I lost my girlfriend.
Yep.
I lost the guy who was a father to me. I'm killing you, bitch. I am killing you. I traveled halfway across the world.
No, you missed
halfway across the world. I don't care. I'm killing you.
You missed.
You're dead.
The point.
Yeah, here's the point. Oh, two wrongs don't make a right. It's about blah 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 redemption.
Well,
Shut up.
She realized how parallel that like she is to him, and like they're all just trying to save.
Fuck
their
that.
people,
I'm killing you. I killed your friends. I killed your friend that had a baby. I killed the guy that you was having sex with. I killed your dogs. I killed everybody. I'm killing you next. Because you know why? I can't take the chance that you won't come for me. So I'm killing you.
Well, she did save her too, to be fair. So there's
no reason
for her to come for her. She saved her and then let her go.
No, she saved her.
They got their fight out.
And then I lost the finger. I can't even play the guitar anymore because I lost the finger.
Well, and she shouldn't have gone after her. She had her life.
No.
And she was gonna they went their separate ways, and then she kept going. She flew too close to the sun. She wouldn't leave alone.
I would have looked at you in that cross and be like, this is what you deserve.
It was honestly a lot of Tommy's fault too, because Tommy was super manipulative about it. I could go on about it all day. Tommy went into the house and was like, how fucking dare you not continue to go after her? And she's like, dude,
exactly.
Look at my life. I have a life. I'm good. Like,
nah. I side with Tommy. You wasn't about that life. You wasn't about that. I thought you was about that life. He killed my brother. He killed you.
Tommy was ready to go back. Listen, I could talk about it all day. Tommy was ready to go back. Yeah, he was like, let's go. And then he gets shot, and he's like, oh, no, change my mind.
But listen, and then so finish my fucking story. Look, he shot your father, and I was like an uncle to you. Come on, you gonna do this? Don't be a bitch.
Literally what he did, and it worked. And then she lost her fingers and her girlfriend and her farmhouse and her life. And
nah, I would have shot Abby right in the fucking head, right there, and be like, this is too good for you, but it is what it is, and popped you. End of the game. End of the game. End of it. And then what? Maybe that little girl survives and comes after, and then we repeat the cycle or something. Oh, just end the series. I would have shot Abby right in the head. I love Abby as a character. Loved her as a character. Loved it. Abby's bae. But if I have a revenge mission, I am going to complete my mission. I'm going to fucking kill you. Oh, we have the similar interests. Blah, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck. I'm shooting you. In your face.
That's not what happened.
I don't give a fuck. I'm shooting you. I am shooting you. I traveled from Wyoming to fucking California for your ass? We ain't got cars? I did this shit on foot? I am shooting you in your head, bro. In your head. Well, bam. You're dead.
Nuance.
Knew you. Anyway.
Nuance knew you.
Continuing with layoffs and everything. WB just closed down a whole section of their their games. They the minute they canceled, it was like, oh, we're gonna make a Wonder Woman game. Cancel that, shut it all down. And what's even worse, they had the license or the patent, I believe, to the Nemesis system.
Aw, come on.
And
I've
if you
heard
don't,
so many crazy things about that.
if you guys don't know what the Nemesis system is, it's from Shadow of Mordor. And what the Nemesis system was this: if that guy killed, it is like it was like it's set in the Lord of the Rings like world and stuff. You like playing this guy who has like somebody who made like an alternate ring or whatever. I forgot like the story, but you're like a ranger or whatever. You have like a spirit of some elf or whatever you, and you will fight hordes of different like orcs and stuff. But sometimes the orcs will kill you. If that orc killed you, he will go up in the ranks of orcs. He's like, I fucking killed you. Also, there was another orc saying like, listen, if you kill these certain guys, I can move up in the system and I can help you out. So, and there's also some orcs that were like, you can turn to work with you. I think that was in part 2. But the thing is, fast forward, if the orc killed you, he moves up in the rank system. Let's say you go back and you run into that orc. He goes, I remember you. I'm going to kill you like I did last time.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that whole system, I think they wanted Batman to have that too. Like, you know, if one of those goons beats you up, he starts moving up. So Shadow of Mordor was the only one that had that Nemesis system. And they like, it was so fucking good. And so many people wanted the other games to have it, but WB owned that shit and that company.
I feel like that shouldn't be allowed to be owned.
Now that WB has closed down the fucking studio that makes games and does that,
that's like Assassin's Creed.
They have
like,
that
we
system.
Own parkour, nobody else can do it. Like,
yeah.
Like, well,
so
it's
the
climbing.
Nemesis system.
Like, get out of here. Like, you can't own that. You can't own a game mechanic.
You can. It's
crazy.
Yes, you can. You patent it. You patent it, bro.
Able to, is what I'm saying. It's crazy.
Listen, if you got something, wait. So you telling me if you make something that's really good, that's like game changing.
Yeah.
You don't want to patent it, and so you like, this is fucking mine.
True capitalism is get the fuck good. You know what I mean? It's like you create the best, and people come to you. And if it doesn't work, then you got to create better. And if somebody else takes it, keep creating better.
Well, that's what the guys at God of War did.
Yeah.
They went to the guys from Naughty Dog and was like, hey, your system with Ellie, this being AI, was really good. Can you help us with Atreus? And I was like, yeah, we'll help you, little sister. And look how God of War turned out.
Yeah, and then collaboration and
system,
helping each other. So like if somebody else wants to use your product and they make something cool, maybe you make friends rather than, you know, like true capitalist nature isn't just competition. Like there is a lot of collaboration in it too, and like lifting each other up so that supply meets demand, demand meets supply, all this, right? Versus like this system of I protect what's mine, and then like I'm gonna put a billion barriers to entry. It's like a fucking nightmare out here, you know? Like it's just
what the hell was that?
Just Monopoly.
What was that?
That was my Monopoly voice.
That's your Monopoly voice?
Yeah, my corporation
that
voice.
sounds like a Batman voice.
Well,
are you okay? Sometimes I worry about you, man. You worry me. Sometimes I go. Sometimes your voice is just, I don't get it. I'm like, is she okay? Maybe she matters a little off the rocker at times.
Always. That's why I'm on the internet. If I were normal, I'd be boring.
Oh my god.
Who wants to watch somebody normal?
I mean, a lot of people do. They want to feel connected at times, but you know, some people like to still go into things.
Name one normal person you watch.
I don't know. I don't watch many people.
Well,
but I'm always watching my back.
Yeah, okay, I'm not the normal one.
But speaking of you know, watching and you know, getting into places, there was a streamer who has some choice words to say about competitive gaming and shooting and its toxic culture. So if anybody knows and they play any shooter games or team-based shooter games, there's, especially as ranked and competitive, there's the voice chat in it is very, how do you say, has very colorful language and is extremely toxic, where you will be called everything in the book. I've been called so many terrible things. So many people have slept with my mom, and you know, it's so crazy. But you know, some people, they enter that space and then say it needs to change. You can't change. You can't change it. You can't. You fucking can't. It's never gonna go away. Because you know why? It's just competitiveness. That's how the competitive people are. Sports players do it. You don't think sports players shit talk each other? They shit talk each other. They will shit talk each other. Other teams shit talk each other. Sports fan. And in the game, like, you know, Marvel Rivals, fucking Valorant, Apex, Call of Duty. Call of Duty was the fucking precursor of everything. Call of Duty Warfare, Modern Warfare 2 lobbies, oh my god. The minute you enter, you got called the N-word.
I have a lot of mixed feelings on it because I don't like. I'm a big proponent of like freedom that doesn't infringe on somebody else's freedom, and I feel like coming into a space and then trying to dictate how everybody else acts, just like from an objective standpoint, doesn't fly for me. Like that, it doesn't sound like a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, why should I come into somebody else's home and then be like, well, no, you need to act like this? It's like, no, I was here first. You know, like they built the culture. But you could also argue, okay, but maybe that's like a really toxic culture that shouldn't exist at all. But it's like, who are you to decide? Like, who gave you authority to decide what's right and wrong? And so that's where it's just like, it feels like it's infringing. And I get it because it sucks. And I'm never going to be in those voice chats. They're not a good time for women. We all know this. But like, I don't know, like you said, I don't think that there's a way to fix it really. It's just, that's the kind of thing that comes out in that environment. And I know we could say there's probably circumstances throughout like sports and stuff where we could say, okay, well, they've cleaned up certain areas so that these things aren't predominant and more people can participate. And it's not focused on that as much and it's focused more on the sport itself. You know what I mean? Versus the trash talking. Like I could see that. But I don't think that telling people who are doing that they aren't allowed to do that is going to fix it. I think it's like part of our societal culture at this point. It's like, you know what I mean? Like it goes way deeper than, oh, it's gamers. Oh, it's men. Oh, it's, you know, we shouldn't be saying these things because like when we start dictating how people speak, it becomes problematic. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So a lot of people told her like, you know, you should just stay out of it. Like it's gonna happen. Like if you don't like it, then don't play those games.
Yeah,
like,
and that's literally me. I don't particularly like it, and so I don't really play those games. It's easy, you know. There's other stuff that I can play.
And I get, put like this. I get there's supposed to be like some type of communication, especially in a game, any shooter's game. There should be communication and voice comms. I can tell you many times. Most of the times, people who do use voice comms, they're just gonna use comms to kind of insult you. Say you fucking suck, you're trash, switch champions or whatever, call you names and stuff. There's times you meet people like, yo, back up. Like I try to communicate positively, negatively. I'm gonna let you know straight up you're fucking dog shit, and you need to fucking. But, but there's times when I've even said things like, yo, DPS, yo, come on, you gotta step it up. Just step it up. And they're like, fuck you, shut the fuck up. And I'm like, all right, be a dog shit player then. Never, like, just be dog shit then. Because that's how it is.
I feel like that's
you
part
can
of
mute
it too,
everybody.
is like the effective communication and knowing what type of effective communication works in an area too. And so I think with the fast paced and the yelling and the, you know, I feel like there's definitely a better way to do it. But I just don't think that you're gonna change anybody. Like if you talk calmly and you talk very succinctly and it's much more, you have like a lot more clarity. Like you're gonna win, you know, like rather than just like bitching at each other. If you actually communicate what you need to be doing in a straightforward manner, you're gonna do better.
I've told people, the people have sit there and called me the F word. They call me F bomb straight up. I'm like, yep, that's right. I am one. And I fucked your dad. Your dad sucks at this game just like you do. Both of y'all suck. And I'm gonna give your dad back shots later. So I'm toxic. I could be just as toxic. And sometimes when you call people
toxic too, just in like a solo game, just talking to the AI. Like I'll fucking talk trash to them, you know. It happens.
But sometimes
you're really like in it, you know.
Sometimes when you shit talk people, they start playing better. They fucking step their game up because they don't want to fucking get shit talked on, and like shit turns around, you know. But to come into like games saying, "Oh, I can't mute everybody because you have to communicate," you could type. There's a lot of in League of Legends. the first thing they tell you to do to climb in League of Legends, they say mute everybody.
Hmm.
Mute all pings, mute all texts mute from both teams. Mute everybody and just play. Play. That's the only way to get better. Because the thing is, some people go into the games with a already fucked mentality, and it affects the team. If you go in like you're already losing and you're tilted, and you just going like, oh, we're gonna fucking lose. I can't fucking like. It affects the rest of the team because the team is like, this guy's already fucking tilted.
Yeah.
I was literally watching somebody's game last night, and this guy was like already tilted. He was like, all you heard in his voice comment was like, I've been fucking losing all night. If I fucking lose this game, I'm gonna get off. And like, so he went in the game tilted already, and that affects everybody. I can admit I've done that too, because I'm just like, listen, I'm on an 8-game losing streak. I have zero faith in this fucking team. That affects people. When you go in, you gotta, sometimes you gotta be that teammate that is just like, I'm just gonna shut up and play. Just shut up and play.
Honestly,
if you're that
what you
teammate
just
that
said
goes
is
in
actually
just like,
really good life advice. That's like one of those gamification things that you can literally take into your real life. Like if you start just spinning out about shit not working for you, just fucking do it. Just stop listening to everyone and just do the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like you can play Marvel Rivals without ever talking to people, because when I solo queue, or even if I'm duoing, half the team doesn't talk. No one fucking talks. No one's fucking talking at all. So you can play games like you don't have to communicate at all. You could probably just say one time backline. Oh, the fucking game has like pings and all this stuff. There's so many ways to communicate in the game. You do not need to talk. You don't have to use voice comms. You can mute everybody. If you can't play that game, if you can't play certain games without
in that game,
voice
though, wouldn't
comms,
it distract from actual gameplay?
what's that?
If you're like typing, you said ping. Is that like
The ping is easy. It's like it's a mouse. It's in your mouse. It set it to your mouse, and you could ping. It's just you hold the click. It when you hold the mouse down, it creates a wheel, and you can fucking just click what it wants. It'll say need healing, group, back off, special. It's all that stuff.
Oh, okay. So it's like
And if you're getting fucking backline dove, you can easily, when you die, press enter and type, getting dove in backline by X person, need help. Simple.
And that's that's kind of what voice chat should be too, is what I'm advocating for. You know what I mean? Like all
Yes,
the cursing doesn't really help you communicate.
It does, but here's the thing. Half the time, these people have you muted already. Some people go into these games and have you muted already.
I mean, that's how, if I'm playing any sort of online multiplayer, I have everybody muted and myself muted. I mean, I haven't been on chats for years and years and years.
Yeah, some people just not, I don't think the culture of like online gaming, especially competitive playing, is ever going to change, because you're going to have toxic players. And she says like, these games, like competitive games, like shooter games, like the worst people come out and play these games. These worst people have always been there. They're not leaving. They're not going to go.
And you can
and
create
every
your
generation
own
is going to have one.
space. That's what I don't understand is like, you know what I mean? Like you can have your own team and go against other teams. Like you don't have to deal with the public if you don't want to.
Yeah, you could make there's a lot of people that even offer to help streamers play games. Like I'll join your team, but some people pick who they play with and don't want to play with people. But if you don't want to play with people and you want to solo queue constantly, and then you get called names and stuff, and if you open your mouth and you're a fucking girl, oh my god, forget about it. If you're a girl and you're losing the team and you like have the most deaths, it's like you're gonna get called. You're gonna get told go back in the kitchen.
Yep.
So it's crazy. Like I've had girls in my team, I'm just like whatever. And the most I've say is if I see somebody with Twitch TV in their name, I'm like, of course we lose because the fucking streamer couldn't focus and was too busy talking. That's what I say. If we lose, I legit say your stream is fucking trash and we lost because you're too busy being a trash player and a trash streamer. No one want to watch your stream.
Oh no.
I'm that guy. Yes, I'm that fucking guy. I'm that guy.
But that's why there should be like competitive and casual. You know what I mean? Like, because if I
is.
jump on like if I jump on like Fortnite or Call of Duty or something, like I'm gonna be doing it for stream. I'm gonna have people from stream jump in and just play, and we're like super casual. Like if we get some wins, cool. Like we did something, we got some cool kills, fun. We did fun things. Yeah. That's it. Like as much as I'm competitive in that sort of environment, we'll get competitive and we'll want to win for a little bit. But I'm also prioritizing, the stream. So I'm not gonna
Exactly.
put myself into like a super competitive environment, like some of these you're talking about.
But it's just how people are, dude. It's just gaming, and it's like I feel like every like couple of months or something, there's always some gamer or streamer who just decides to enter that space and wants it to change. And that's what I say, bring back gatekeeping, because when you open the gates and let people in, they start wanting things to be changed for their
No,
liking
I don't think it's
and
gatekeeping
ruin
that we
everything.
need. I think gatekeeping is stupid. What I do think is that people need to start going into spaces and realizing that they are not the main character. Like that culture already existed before you. Fucking suck
No
it up.
gatekeep.
Understand? No gatekeeping.
Yes.
No gatekeeping. Let people
Yes.
in.
Why?
But those people need to understand that they don't build the culture, right? Like they're not the main character. They're one player in millions. So they need to shut the fuck up and like realize that there's a whole culture built without them and that they need to play by those rules or just suck it up. Like they don't get to decide for everyone else. But
Yeah,
gatekeeping
I
is
mean,
stupid. Like I don't think you should be keeping
well,
people out.
look at how people talk about wanting Souls games to have fucking easy mode. Oh, they need it so new players could come in.
I don't think it's
No,
gatekeeping
fuck
to
you.
have like to not have difficulty modes though. I think that's just make the game however you want to make the game. I think there should be harder games out there. 100%. I don't think we should have difficulties in every game. I don't think that normal should be as easy as it is in every game. I think that everything that we're doing is so that it's like mass market appeal all of the time. Like stop. Just make
Yeah.
really good games. Make it how you want it and stop appealing to everyone all the time. It's stupid. But I don't think
Yes.
that's gatekeeping to not do that. You know what I mean? Like I don't think it's gatekeeping to build what you want to build.
Yeah, and speaking of gatekeeping and making good games, Monster Hunter has been fucking killing it.
It's
And there was
absolutely killing it. I can't imagine the joy you must have of like getting to like a really popular game. I will literally never have that in my life. I will never have a time where it's like, oh my god, I like the game everybody else likes.
So you know what's funny? The Gamer magazine released an article saying, what did they say? It says, "Why is Monster Hunter so good?"
Like everybody
Let me
it's
get the.
so fucking popular. Like legitimately, whatever award shows we have, they just need to take it now. Like there's no other competition.
Wait,
I've
I gotta
never
find the
seen
exact
a game
quote.
this like people this positive about a game. Gamers never agree on anything, and like everybody seems to love this game. Not me because it's not my type of game, but
You didn't even try it.
no.
Okay,
But I'm
they said.
probably not going to because I.
So the Gamer magazine says, "Why isn't Monster Hunter Wilds flopping like Dragon Age, Veil Guard?"
They're two completely different games. Like what? Why are you
Like,
comparing those?
so this person with a huge brain wants to know why a game that is made by a Japanese company, Capcom, not a flop like Dragon Age, Veil Guard. Because you know why it's not a flop? Because they said this works. We don't need to change it
Was it
because
a
it
was it a
works.
left-leaning article that was like defending Dragon Age? Did you read it? Because my theory, just
No.
hearing that title, is likely that it was somebody who's a bit biased and opinionated, and they pitched that, and their editors were biased and opinionated, and were like, "Yeah, that's cool." So they probably wanted to know why this one game is accepted and their game that they like isn't, and so they were trying to defend it with that approach. Because I can't imagine why you would otherwise compare those two titles in that way. And so
Because
they just
people
pitched that because they wanted to be like, Dragon Age is cool too, like, which like it is for some people, but like why are you comparing it to this game that's doing really well? Obviously, you know what I mean? Like Dragon Age didn't do well because it wasn't as mass market appeal. That's that simple.
Here's why Dragon Age Vanguard did so bad. Because you wanted a modern audience that's not there for you, that is a small minority, and you added all this bullshit in a game and a series and changed all this stuff to please a small minority, and your game flopped.
Well, again, there's nothing wrong with having stuff in it. The problem is when they put it in it to try to appeal to those people, like you're saying, like appeal.
Yes.
Like having the content in it isn't bad. It's the fact that they're trying to mass market things that the mass market doesn't want. And that happens to be like the woke stuff right now, right? And it's just not working, and it's not going to work. I played a game that would be considered woke the other day, like very woke.
Yeah.
It's about as woke as it gets.
What game is that?
I loved it. It was right up my alley, but it wasn't.
What game is that?
For the mass market? Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. Yeah, so you haven't
Never
even
heard
heard
of
of
it.
it. It's Life is
Never heard
Strange.
of it.
Like the people who made Life is Strange made it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So
And it was like very
so
gay and very cute and very 90s nostalgia and very like the mechanic was making little movies with your camcorder and making
I mean,
decisions. It was just cute. It was just 90s nostalgic and cute, and it was like very ambient and it was just beautiful. And it was about like girls in the summer. So anybody like it was clearly, for women who grew up
so
in
it's
the
right up your
90s.
alley.
It's like, yeah, right. It's just but
It's
they knew their target audience. They made it for the target audience. And it wasn't supposed to be this giant mass market appeal blockbuster thing that they're marketing to everybody, right? Like they knew
yes.
what they were going for. And that's the problem with things like Dragon Age, where they're putting in these things that aren't mass market appeal and trying to force it into the mass market. And that's just never going to work. And it doesn't mean
And
that
also,
the thing is wrong or that the mass market is wrong. It means the mass market likes what it likes, and it likes bland stuff most of the time. Don't put spice in something that's got to go to everybody. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You can't do that. It's
Yeah.
just.
I like that. Don't put spice in something that's gotta go to everybody.
Yeah.
So that game did put spice that went to everybody, and then the thing is, everybody started eating it, especially the journalists, and was like, "Oh, it's a real good game." Then they came back, was like, they had a second tasting of it. And it was like, "Nah, this game is not that good. It's a little too woke."
Which is
So Monster Hunter,
silly.
you know the
I
only
feel
thing
like the
Monster Hunter,
journalists only backtracked because they were getting so much hate. Like,
no,
stand
they
on your
backtracked
stand on
because
your
they
feet,
realized, no, they realized it was like, no, this game is actually dog shit. So here's the thing with Monster Hunter. You know the only thing feature that they changed that was like a little people was like, no, that they made it that males and females could wear different armors now. So
Okay.
when I say that, like, so before female armor was only for females, male
Okay.
armor was only for males. Now a male could wear female armor and vice versa. So that's the only difference. That's the only change. Some people are like,
Okay.
meh, and that's it. I mean, they have female hunters in the game with you.
Oh, so are
who
they
like,
calling it woke now?
no, they wouldn't call it woke, but some people went a little bit was like, don't like that. That's no. But then it kind of went away. There was like a small, quiet bunch of people that said that, and everybody was like, shut up. It's Monster Hunter. I'm serious. Like a few people was like, oh, they're doing this. No. And people like, shut the fuck up. It's Monster Hunter, dude.
If they can find woke, they're gonna call it out. It's gonna happen every
The-
time without fail.
The character creation was very simple. Very simple character creation. Face, chest, body, blah. No, you couldn't add a dick. You couldn't add a vagina. None of that. It was like, whatever. Done. You could have a stupid ass voice as a male or female. You have the palico, have a stupid ass voice if you want. Stupid ass name, customization, whatever. The game is amazing. Great story. Your character talks. Fucking great world. Is it repetitive? Yes. Kill a monster, hunt a monster, track a monster, but it's so fun and rewarding. It was a system they were like, this works. Keep using this. Update this system, make it a little better. Don't fucking reinvent it. Monster Hunter is a simple game. Big monster, kill big monster. Use big monster parts to make stronger weapons to go kill the next monster. Hunt more monsters. Find more material. Capture monsters. Fucking find shit. The only problem I have with that game is the materials used to make your food. You got to trade people items to get that material to make the food and stuff. There's no more going to like the big kitchen and the palicos have this big thing and they make all your dishes and there's this big banquet of food and you eat it before going out. But it's so fucking good. The game is so good. It's good. So much to do. And I wish you would play, but
like
you
Pokemon.
don't. Because okay.
The game loop does sound similar, to be fair.
You don't
Even
capture the
feeding
monsters
thing,
though.
Even like the little like feeding party.
No, it's like a banquet that you eat and you get stats. It helps you with your stats.
Yeah, you do
it
like a
gives
picnic in Pokemon.
Do you?
And for the stats, yeah. Exact same thing.
What Pokemon is this?
Scarlet.
Really?
Yeah, you make a little picnic, you make sandwiches, and you up your stats.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was
like
you could do that in
raid,
that one.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't fucking know that, dude.
So you have a little picnic
But
with your
yeah,
friends,
and
and
it's
all
like
your little Pokemon come out, and they like you hang out.
this game, and it's like, you can't say like, oh, it has wokeism because like, um, one of the female hunters, she has like the short bob cut hair and stuff, and she's like one of the head hunters. Like, bro, that's a vicious ass
Oh, I
world.
saw that.
Everybody's
Like
like,
they said the shaved head is like a red flag or something.
bro, she's a badass. She's a badass.
I can't with like the signals of the woke. It makes me laugh a little bit.
It's because people have been so fucking like traumatized by stuff like that. Like the strong female lead characters always have that shaved head or something, and it's like they're just done badly. This character is just like one of the lead hunters groups or whatever, and she's kind of just there, and she's like, hey, whatever, yeah, you're the
So it's
whatever
not
hunter,
like,
let's go.
it's one of those where it like has nothing to do with the thing they're associating it with.
Yes.
It's just because they've had it associated with that enough times.
Yeah.
Because the shaved
and
head
you gotta,
on its own, it's like, okay, what's the problem? It's just the fact that they're like, no,
wait,
this
I
is
don't even
like
think that-
this kind of thing over and over. So they're like,
yeah, and the girl they're talking about, the shaved head, she makes your weapons and armor.
but this need for this excessive pattern recognition and assumptions, I think, is really doing a detriment to that side of things, where where they see something and it may have nothing to do with the thing that they are condemning it with. It's like, okay, well, you might need to take a little, just take a second and realize what you're doing, because nobody's gonna buy that. Like, people are over that whole mentality at this point, especially when they're coming after some of the biggest games. It's like, okay, like I get that you have opinions and I get that you don't want these things in your games. That's a valid opinion, okay? Because mass market appeal is mass market appeal. Nonetheless,
Correct.
You're not going to convince anyone if you're connecting things that have nothing to do with each other. Like if you're putting patterns where they don't belong, it's just never going to work.
Well, I say the clothes she's wearing isn't very, I would be like, is there a safety hazard? So when she's smelting and making your weapons, I'm like, that's a safety hazard. She will have
like
burns.
naked?
No, she's like, she wears like a crop top something, and like her belly's out, and she has shorts, and she, has her hair down and all that stuff, and
Well, loose clothes could be
she's pretty
dangerous.
hot.
I don't know. Maybe loose clothes are dangerous for the smelting or whatever.
Yeah, she makes your weapons and armor, bro. It's a woman who makes your weapons and armor, and she travels with you sometimes. There's like a whole bunch of characters in it, in the world and everything, and it's just Monster Hunter. You can't go wrong with a game that's mechanics are so simple. You just add in new features, and they're saying they're gonna add in more monsters and even some classic monsters from like the other games and stuff. And that's the thing is they're doing it for the fans. And they made some features for like the newcomers. They want to make newcomers and fans feel welcomed.
That's good.
Even though that's
how it should be.
There's a small discourse between like old Monster Hunter players and new Monster Hunter players because
That's why
there's a
I hate
mod.
gatekeeping, because it's that thing. It's like you can't have this, because I've seen that with DBD. I asked a question once and I was like, well, why is everybody so mean about your weird shit? Like, why are you guys making up rules? Like, just chill out. They're like, DBD isn't for everybody. Like, if you're trying to play now, it's too late. And I'm like, oh, okay. I wasn't trying to play anyway, but
no, the Dead by Daylight community is just fucking toxic as shit.
They're crazy, dude.
And they're sassy because
they're so sassy. It's like,
they're
dude, nobody
very
gives
sassy.
a shit. You're playing tag, dude. Relax.
Yeah, it's like I
guess hide and seek, whatever. Okay.
The Dead by Daylight community is like a bunch of like it's very has a very large group of like LGBTQ players, and they are sassy and mean.
But like,
and
why
do
they? I just
those
feel
two things are like, whoa, please.
If you have to make up rules to the game, then like you're not playing the game right. Like, you should, like, the game makers make the rules. If you're making up the rules and you're making other people play by them, but you made them up, that's your problem. Like, they're like, oh, you can't guard the thing. How about you get good and figure out a strategy around that? Like, you're just making shit up. Oh, you can't like stop the board. You can't like put down the plank when the guy's coming from this direction or some shit. Like, just stop making shit up.
Those are the high elo players. Yeah,
it's so fucking weird. Like, bitch, just get good.
Yeah, so like like I said, it's like it's a lot of like LGBTQ players in that game, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, fucking go for it. But they're mean and sassy. Like,
I mean,
being mean is one thing, but when you mean and sassy is like, wait, I feel like I'm being yelled at by like a teacher or something, and they're like mean girls. They're like the mean girls, honestly, and
Mean
they're like
girls are
they
generally not gay girls, to be fair. So I maybe gay guys, but not. I mean, if we're trying to
yeah.
stereotype it, but like I don't think gay girls are gonna be like the sassy.
Well, I've been
Necessarily. Like
sassed a
I'm
lot
sassy,
on that game.
but like I'm sassy in a different way than that. Like I'm not fucking trying to put my rules on other people, you know.
I've been
And to be
sassed,
fair, the kind of people that put rules on other people are like the Soulsborne players who are like, oh, you have to do it this way or you're not doing it the right way, like that kind of thing. It's like the same thing in DVD.
yeah.
It's like that's not your business. Like that's not, especially if you're playing a multiplayer game and you're like, you did this, how dare you? Like that's,
Yeah.
it's in the game. Let them like if they didn't stop you from doing it in the game, then you don't get to stop them just because you don't like how they're playing. That's like I don't get that at all.
So the minor Monster Hunter discourse, like, oh, the new players are having because there's a mod that it gives the monster a health bar. Because when you start fighting monsters,
Oh,
you don't have a
I
health
don't think
bar.
mods should be like allowed for competitive stuff.
Yeah, but that's not something competitive when you hunt a monster. That's like, because the game, it doesn't give like the monster a health bar. It gives them like a the things in the hospitals, an EKG thing. You know, the thing that goes like, when they're reading your heart. So you see that. And if it's blue, the monster is healthy. And if it starts to go red and the monster's like limping, the monster's about to die. And so also on the mini map, you'll see the monster's body and like a skull will start to flash, saying like, okay, the monster's on its last legs.
So they're making their own easy mode.
What's that?
They're making like their own easy mode, like with HUD.
They're
stuff.
making it a better way for you to track the monster's health instead of paying attention to stuff that's in the game already.
So not better. You said better, but
What?
it sounds like not better. It sounds easy mode rather than like having to actually play the game.
It's not an easy mode. It's just kind of like,
Yeah, it's like cheating the system. You said like if you don't have that, you have to actually pay attention to the signs in the game and actually play the game.
Yes.
Versus like these people are just cheating, which is like why even?
Yeah,
play
they're
the
giving
game?
themselves like their own health bar to see the monster's health. The monster has a health bar. I was like, that's dumb.
I don't think that we should have HUDs on for normal in games. I'm like getting to that point.
What do you mean? Like maps, mini maps, like little mini maps and HUDs?
I feel like unless it's like integrated into the game in some way, in an important way, like we should be having less HUD. I'm getting to a point where I'm like, what is this normal difficulty being so fucking easy all the time? It's driving me nuts, dude.
But with the HUDs, some HUDs are needed. Monster Hunter needs a HUD. You gotta know
For
your
certain
health, your
elements,
stat.
yeah, but like that kind of thing where they're like adding, something that
Extra stuff.
where it was all the system was already built into the game. Like a lot of games
Yeah.
already have it where you wouldn't necessarily need like quest lists, which like I play a lot of Ubisoft games, so I am very familiar with how this goes. The quest lists on the screen and like telling you exactly where to go. Like they're building out these systems where you don't need all of that within the game. So like why even put that in normal mode if there's already a system where you don't need to, like remember back in the day when you had to write stuff down in video games. Like,
Yeah.
I had a notebook
So
by
remember
me
your
while I
quest.
was playing my games. Like that's how it should be. And I don't understand this like mentality of all the default should be, oh, you don't even have to fucking use your brain cells. Like that's why I'm excited for Hell Is Us. They're apparently gonna go back the old direction.
So and also with Monster Hunter, like to hunt monsters, like when you track it, sometimes it like you sometimes have to follow a track or use like these lantern flies. They kind of like put like a little path, like there's like a little path you have to follow, like, and so you can get to the monster and then you initiate the hunt and stuff. And sometimes you could do other stuff, but like I think that's the only like help you really get. Like, oh, the monster's over here, so these fireflies will just go out. Especially if you've seen the monster before. If you've never seen the monster, it like you look in the ground like, oh, here's his tracks, here's his fur. Okay, now these fireflies can find it quicker now because it has this information. So there's a lot of things in the game that are ready to help you out as a new player and as a veteran and stuff. Some of the weapons are a little harder to master and understand, and they even have a new mode called focus mode and weak points to make things hunts better and faster. Some people feel it takes too long to kill monsters and everything, but you just want to one-shot monsters or something? I never understand how people say like, oh, it takes too long to do stuff. Like, why do you want to one-shot everything?
Why are you playing the game? Like, I just don't. Most of these complaints never make sense to me. I'm like, then why play that game? Sounds like you don't like that type of game. Like
Yeah,
that's why
it's
I'm not
like
playing Monster Hunter, because it sounds repetitive to me, like not in a fun way. You know what I mean? Like I like other stuff that other people find repetitive, but repetitive is just like the symptom of an underlying thing that isn't for me. It's not the repetitiveness at the end of the day. You know, like there's something else, because
yeah,
there's like it just isn't the game loop for me. If you like a game loop, you're going to be okay with the repetition.
yeah. So
And that's why when people call
we
Assassin's Creed repetitive and call it bad for that, I'm like, first of all, there's like 30 different types of game loops in the newest one. But and I proved that. They were like, well, name them. And I did. I was like, okay, now what? And they're like, well, I still think it's repetitive. And I'm like, okay, but let's dig deeper. It's not repetitive that's bothering you, because I just proved that it's not. So, and you like these other games that have repetition. So what is it that's actually bothering you? And nobody will ever answer that question, because they don't fucking think about, like,
they don't have an answer
they have
for
no
you.
self-awareness. It's like, do you never analyze your own thoughts and try to figure out what you actually think about things? Like, you're just living and breathing what other people tell you all day. Like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, that's pretty much it with a lot of people. They just fucking just parakeet what other people say. Like I say Assassin's Creed is repetitive. I stopped playing Assassin's Creed after Mirage.
And I have very much
Because
proven that is
I just got
incorrect.
I just got bored. I got bored.
And
I
you know
got
Mirage
bored.
was the latest game, right? You stopped playing after
Was-
Mirage.
Oh no, Origins. Shut up. I stopped playing after Origins. I had Origins. I streamed a little bit, and I was just kind of bored.
Well,
Maybe if I picked it up and
some
played
people
it.
say Origins is like the epitome of the series in a lot of ways, but
Yeah.
that's also where I kind of like, I wasn't as excited about Origins the first time I played it. And when I played Odyssey, I was like, oh, this is an improved version. But for some people, they hated it. So it just depends on like your different interests.
I like
because-
Syndicate a lot.
Yeah. Oh, I can like hear
Syndicate
the
was good.
punches.
Syndicate was really good because
Syndicate,
you had your little
can-
train.
Yeah.
You could make your little gangs and stuff, and then you do the underground fighting and stuff.
You know what
and
I
then,
did last week?
You switch. What?
I tested how many civilians you can kill in each game. I'm gonna make a video on it.
Jesus Christ! You have a problem. Is the last time you did Odyssey, you was like, how many people can you fuck, and how many times can you fuck this
It
one
was
person?
Valhalla specifically, yeah. 'Cause
Yes.
You can
And
go
now,
back and the winds take you back to Rondvi. Had to know.
and so you was like, how many times can I bang somebody?
There's no limit.
Let's go. There's no
We got
limit.
to
How many
69 and we
times?
stopped.
So now you're gonna test how many civilians can I kill in this one game? Let's find out. You have sadistic tendencies. You know that you have serial killer tendencies.
I don't
Do you
think
collect
that the
toenails?
sense was the going back to Randvi every time, was it? I just like to figure out the limitations of a game.
Yeah. Okay.
I do.
Limitations of the game.
I am. I'm trying to
The
figure out
limit-
where they put
the
the.
limitations
I
of
like
the
to
game.
figure out where they put the min and max and stuff.
69. Yeah.
Yeah.
69 times.
Yeah. It was an important
Oh,
experiment.
Matt.
Just
What?
Like it was an important experiment, just like the civilian killing.
No, it
Actually,
wasn't.
that reminds me. I should make a video of that too. That'd be funny.
What?
The Ronby. People might like that. I'm gonna write it down.
What?
There's no
You
limit.
got problems.
Listen, min and max. That's how you learn how the game is built and where you can push it and what you can do and what you can get away with and where you can like create new like situations all throughout the game. It's important.
Okay. 69 times. You got sex 69 times. Trust me, I know. That'd be a very conversation. That'd be a weird way to start a conversation. In Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you could like bang the same person like 69 times in a row. I'm just saying, I did it. It was for science. Ridiculous. But yeah, I think the question I want to leave everybody off, the viewers off today, is like, do you think games should, if the system in the game works, should they change it to appease other groups, or should they keep it the same? Like, look at Monster
Just make
Hunter
a
and
new
stuff.
game.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, you know what?
Like, you don't need to change the core of a game that's working unless the people are tired of you putting out the same game, which is what Assassin's Creed did, and then people yelled at them. They're like, "Oh, you made too many similar. Make something. We're bored." And then they make something new, and everybody's like, "It's too different. Can't fucking win with
Yeah.
these people. So make what you think the art should be."
Yeah, so let us know in the comments below. Do you think games that have like a cult following and has had systems that they only improved and made better, should they change to help out the modded audience. Let us know in the comments below, and definitely be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell button so you can stay updated with your two favorite podcasts, Real Gamers. We really game. We play real games. We don't play fucking.
Well, I don't know if we play real games. I think a lot of people would call the games I play not real, but I do game a lot. So either way, I'm still a real gamer nonetheless.
Didn't somebody call you a fake gamer? They said you're a fake gamer.
I had like 100 people call me a fake gamer the other day. I made a video about it.
What? Yeah, and you you play like hours and hours in video games. Like
I have 5,000 hours streamed, like 5,000 plus. Like,
Jesus Christ. Well, let us know what you guys think. But you got any closing remarks?
People need to think about what they think more. That's it. People just are floating along and just letting people tell them how to think. And the world is becoming a worse place because of it. Whether that's gaming or anything else, like actually think about your thoughts. Stop just listening to everybody else.
Yeah, have your own fucking brain.
Yep.
Stop being stupid. Stop letting other people think for you. That's good.
Or Dayla will backshot your dad. You weren't ready.
I am gonna backshot your dad. Well, I'm Delacroix.
I'm Mad Curious.
This has been another episode of Unfiltered Gamers. See you on the next one, guys.
Bye.
Peace out.